What's going on, guys? It's the Bearded One back with another beer review. I just did another beer that unfortunately had a lot of bad character in it, and so I got to do another review right after that one. But you won't be seeing this review for at least a couple more weeks. But anyways, this is the famed Golden Monkey from Victory. This is the base beer for a lot of the monkey line they're famous for. The Sour Monkey, they came out with Monkey Mango. I just reviewed the Berry Tart Monkey. There's also a rosé, a barrel-aged monkey. So they're doing a lot of things with this base beer, and I've never had it. I said in a previous video, but I'll say it again. I did try the Sour Monkey. That was my first beer from Victory. I was in a sour phase that year. And I didn't do it with the intentions of finding a good starter sour. I just wanted to pick up a sour I thought I could handle. And now, after all of the sours I've had, not that I've had a tremendous amount of sours, I go back and I look and I think Sour Monkey is a very good starter sour. It doesn't go all over the place. It just takes this Golden Monkey, this Belgian triple, and sours it. It's not some crazy kettle sour. It's not an IPA sour. Whatever. They're just souring everything these days. And I think if you're looking to get into Sour Monkey would be my recommendation. But we're not here to talk about Sour Monkey. We're here to talk about Golden Monkey. And Golden Monkey is a Belgian style triple with added spice. I did not look up it much on the beer, being that I looked up the website for their Berry Tart Monkey, and there was hardly anything about it on the website. I do know of the double styles, the Belgian styles. The triple is supposed to be the pale one. It's very well. There's spice in here, so I don't want to say phenolic, but I got some banana off this thing. So it looks like a Hefeweizen. Very cloudy, very almost like a light orange, like a deep gold, almost like a, again, like a light orange, dark gold appearance. There's bubbles going on, some mild activity, nothing too vicious. There's just a thin layer of head, so retention is there, but not very strong, and then it is dissipating away as I'm talking to you guys. Excuse me for that. I will go ahead and say, I know I sound a little rough on camera. I am a little stopped up. I took some measures to relieve some of that, so I'm probably not going to have the best nose in the world. My palate may or may not be thrown off, so just take this specific review with a grain of salt. And just know that, I'm battling some congestion, and I took some nose strips before this, so maybe there's some things in here that have probably screwed up my palate. I mean, this thing smells like banana Laffy Taffy. It really does. This thing is just hugely banana. It's got like a white, well, no, I don't want to say white. It's got like a spiced red character to it as well. So it really smells like banana bread. Phenolic flavors sometimes come off to me as bubblegum, so there's a tinge of bubblegum in here as well. I think that's just because of the nature of the way phenols register to my brain. This will actually be my first Belgian triple. I've never had a Belgian triple. So this will be quite an experience, but comparing it to the Belgian quads I've had and the Belgian doubles I've had, which I've only had like three doubles in my life, two being traditional, actually from Belgium doubles, and then I've had several quads, at least two or three from America, and then one or two from Belgium. And I would say this fits in that ballpark, that really bready, yeasty, phenolic category that Belgian beers tend to fit in a lot of the time. Hot damn, and I mean it. This thing was bottled on July 27th, 2018. It is Valentine's Day 2020. So this thing holds up with time. And I didn't even know the date on this thing. I just knew, I don't know if this is the original labeling, but I knew this was prior to their change, their rebranding, if you will, that Victory had. And so I did want to pick up this bottle first, and I might do a revisit with under the new branding to see if anything has changed, because maybe they tinkered with the recipe. But hot damn, after almost 2 years, this thing tastes really good. So I don't know much about aging beers and cellaring beers, but aging this triple, it seemed to have improved the beer anyways. Again, just tons of banana. Tons of banana. So if you're a fan of Hefeweizen, you would like this beer. I mean, I just got to go ahead and recommend that. Very sweet. Banana bread, so the spices still held up over time. And of course, the hops dissipated. There's almost no hop presence. I think there's a light, very light spiciness in this beer. That could be from the spices that were added. It could be from what remains of the hops. But this thing is a malt bomb all the way. But it is lighter, breadier malts instead of a richer amber caramel malt. I don't really like malt bombs that feel like I'm drinking a caramel chew. You know, I like more of this kind of stuff, breadier, yeastier, that kind of stuff in my beer. What's the ABV on this? 9.5. Okay, so there's a kiss of alcohol on the end of it. Like I definitely can taste the alcohol if I'm looking for it, but there's really no burn there. I don't feel it in my throat or in my chest or you know, in my gut. This is a pretty dangerous beer. Right up there, you know, at least at 2 years old. You know, again, I don't know how near 2 years of aging has affected that ABV burn. I don't know if this thing is boozier with a fresher date, or if it's boozier over time, or if it affects it at all. I don't know. But it was definitely masked very well, at least at this point in time. And overall, I really like this beer. Very, very, very delicate, mild carbonation. It is there. There are bubbles moving around in my glass, but it is just a very, very mild. It's even less than like a champagne-like carbonation. I mean, it's not a flat beer, but it's not even prickly on my tongue. I'd say it's a lighter mouthfeel as well. It's definitely the water is a bigger component in this beer. And I don't know. I don't have much more to say about this really enjoyable experience. After the beer I just had, I was a little worried about the date on this thing, but I'm glad I purchased it. I'm glad I cracked it open after almost 2 years. I would love to buy an authentic triple and age it for 2 years and see what happens after this. As for recommendations, yeah, I could see this being like this could be like your next step after Hefeweizen or wit beer. Definitely, once you acquire the taste and have an appreciation for the Hefe and the wit, and you get to a point where do I go next? I would recommend to any of you out there, go to Belgian Triple. And I know this is an American, tongue-tied. I know this is an Americanized version, but it's still a dang good beer. It still feels and tastes like a Belgian beer from Belgium. And a lot of times, American knockoffs feel very Americanized and detached from their traditional iterations. Nothing good or, nothing wrong or bad about that, though. I know, every brewery wants to make every beer their own. But as for this feels more towards the traditional side, and I appreciate that. As for a grading, even though I love this beer, with it being aged, I don't feel like I'm getting this beer as the brewer intended it to be. So I don't want to grade it higher than I feel it could be at a fresher date. So I'll probably have to revisit this beer at a fresher date just to see if there's any hop presence that could maybe enhance and uplift this beer any more than it already has. But I'm going to have to give this a 4 out of 5. It's still a dang good beer, after almost 2 years. I'm really impressed. It's very dangerous. There's just a kiss of alcohol on the end as you're swallowing. You just get a little wisp of that burn from that 9%. But other than that, I mean, it's enjoyable. It's a good summertime beer. At 9.5%, maybe you wouldn't want to session these back during a football game or something, but it does have the flavor profile and the viscosity of a lighter beer. So if you were only going to drink, 1 or 2 over the course of a game, you're in good hands with this beer. Definitely good. So that's going to wrap this one up, guys. That's about all I got on this beer. Golden Monkey, 4 out of 5. Till next time, guys. Cheers.